And these dogs where it's like the dogs have there could be a person again who's with me.
Her name is Jaxie. She's 2 years old. If you want to know her weight, she's about 30 pounds. And she came from a New York farm that surrendered her here because she had too much energy, just like me.
Every child that comes in, I try to select carefully who's going to be the dog that's going to bring their heart opening to a greater level. Because when the kids come in, they're nervous, they're afraid, they've never been with the dogs. So finding a dog who's going to fit each child is like a little miracle in motion. What do you think her mind is like? How would you describe Jaxie's mind?
All Jaxie wants to do is play, run, play all day, run. She never wants to relax.
She's kind of like you.
Just like me. Amazing.
Once the kids are introduced to their dogs, they begin by learning the basics of obedience training.
We teach them things like it's not what you say, it's how you say that, because dogs respond to tonality more than the literal word. And it's how you use your body. 90% of us approach dogs incorrectly until we're taught the right way to do it. They're taught all sorts of voice tones to use with different commands. You ask a dog to sit, you use a soft, normal voice tone. You ask a dog to stay, you'll use a strong voice tone.
Come here, Jaxie.
And if you want a dog to walk with you, you want a dog to run, you'll use a happy voice tone.
After successfully completing the obedience program, they move on to agility. Wendy Donahue is one of the camp's volunteer agility teachers.
This is a typical agility course. This is something I would see at a trial. That's what you call agility competitions, a trial. Abby and I are going to try to get through this course without making any mistakes. I'm not going to guarantee we're not going to make mistakes, because we still do. It's a good activity for any dog. You used to see basically Border Collies in this because they are so active. It gives them a job. And Border Collies, as we all know, love jobs. The dogs have to trust the kids to tell them where to go and what to do and to keep them safe. And that's the next step beyond the obedience piece. Because if you're 5 feet off the ground on the top of a slanted board, you really need to be able to trust the person who's down there on the ground to get you back down off that board.
Remember when you came and you told me you didn't want a dog jumping on you and you're afraid? Do you think he has the same kind of feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. So you will be so important for him. Because right now, if I send him to somebody in a home who tried to make him do something too fast, what do you think would happen?
He'd be afraid. He'd shut down.
Totally. Doesn't matter if he does anything perfectly, but just think he's learning about trusting you.
It is very, very scary for the dogs in the beginning to do these things because they move, they wiggle, they have to take their feet off the ground. Any dog doesn't like to do that kind of thing. So it's a lot of patience, it's a lot of treats, a lot of rewards, a lot of encouragement from the children.
So what do you think's most important that you're going to need to do with Wendy, with him, while you're here?
Just being a support system for him and let him know that it's okay.
These rescue dogs are gaining such confidence through this. And it's going to help them to gain a new home, gain the right home for them from now on. It's a huge confidence builder for the dogs.
The other thing that happens with the kids and these particular dogs, the Border Collies are very intuitive. They're bred to work with a person. So they intuit what these kids can handle, and they're not going to overwhelm them. And so the pairing is important, and the dog breed is helping also. What else do you think made a difference for her to decide to do it? You see when she looks at you? Remember when you had to go in the tunnel?
Yeah.
She wasn't coming through, was she, for Wendy?
No.
So what was the difference?
I went in there.
And why did it matter, do you think, to her that you were in the tunnel?
Because she knows me really well, and so she'll answer to me when I give her a request.
Yeah. And what does she know about you besides knowing you? It's not just knowing you.
She knows me, that I love her.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you do. My big thing was I was going to be a teacher, and I am a teacher, but I am assisting the master teachers, these spirits in fur. And the more you spend time here watching them work on their people and work on these kids, the more you just realize how little you understand as a human. Is this the kind of dog that you were with before you came to camp?
No.
What was the kind of dog and what happened before?
Rottweiler, and bit me on the side of my face.
Ah. So is this a different way to understand dogs?
Yeah.
So what did you figure out between this dog and the other experience? What do you think?
I used to thought they were aggressive and they would try to hurt you, but they're really calm though. They're really calm creatures. You just gotta know the right things to say to them.
Do you think now you might be a little more comfortable with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what changed in you?
I opened my heart for them. Like I tried to understand them.
Right.
Their biggest connection is, of course, to their dog, and the next one is to their counselors. They feel comfortable in talking to them about things that they probably don't feel comfortable talking to their guardians or their grandmother or their mother about. They're also there to supervise all the activities and make sure that all the behaviors are appropriate. Our counselors are very, very dog savvy. They love dogs, and they all live with dogs, many dogs. So they're able to guide the children through the process of joining with the dog, and that's the most important.
John's eldest son, Justin, is head counselor and head chef. He gave up a blossoming career in the corporate world to volunteer for the kids' camp.
It's just an extraordinarily rewarding thing for me. And it was so clear as to which was more healthy, more rewarding. And I can see that I make a difference in, if it's one child's life or all of them, that means a lot to me.
Kim Siemens is the counselor for the girls.
It's my first year doing kids camp. I've been at the farm for 4 years teaching at the adult camp doing Frisbee training. At home I work with dogs daily doing in-home boarding and training. I really like the interaction and just allowing the kids who came here absolutely terrified of dogs to see them grow and to realize that the dogs can be really cool.
John's youngest son, Cameron, is the boys' counselor and assistant caretaker of the farm.
I like to watch the kids when they come for the very first day, and when they get here they want to go home because there's no TV or video games. But by the end of the camp, they don't want to leave at all.
The biggest challenge for me is the interaction with each other. I was expecting the fears of the animals, fears of the dogs. It's the one-on-one with each other that I've been finding the most difficult.
These kids come from really, really rough backgrounds, and they think that it's only violence that'll get them through.
The way to succeed in that environment is to look tough, be tough, act tough, behave tough. They very seldom have exposure to a situation that shows that you can solve problems with compassion, kindness, understanding, and patience. Those are not watchwords of the inner city child.
They've learned some teamwork skills, working together with people that they're not too comfortable with, even if they don't like each other, that they've learned how to work things through and get together and cooperate a little bit better than that.
We're looking for transformation here, and we understand that these kids are coming in with behaviors that are going to be difficult. We're going to try and work through that because it's part of the growth, and it's part of our growth also. Every dog that's been in the rescue program with the kids that's gone through that has been adopted almost immediately after the program.
Today, Stefan's rescue dog Daisy has found a new home.
Kathy and Ron, this is Stefan Purdy from Manhattan, and he has been working with Daisy all week in both obedience and in agility.
When we know there's a potential for an adoption, I'm excited because now I know that this child gets a chance to participate in what this is about. You have something you want to ask?
What activities would you give her?
Well, I'll do anything that she wants to do.
Well, one of her favorite things is chasing
playing
a
with the
ball.
Yeah.
The most empowering thing I think you can do in any time of this life is help another being. And if you can help them find their way, that's a bigger empowerment. So she has a wonderful chance at something new, and you were part of helping.
Thank you for that.
When the kids come in, I ask each of them in the group, are you willing to help me let these dogs remember that they belong with someone? Because they've been cast off, they've been abandoned, they've been neglected, like almost all the kids, not all of them that are in the program, but many of them.